can I ask you, what are you or your fellow colleagues trying to do essentially to make sure that those bomb throwers don't define the Republican Party? Some are arguing, of course, that because their bomb throwing, like you said, has not been tamped down, they do feel empowered to keep doing it.
Yeah, it does. And, in this age of, you have to raise so much money to win re-elections, you got those universes that are out there looking to try and help. That certainly contributes to it. But I'll tell you a little funny story. I had never talked with my colleague Omar all the days she's been in Congress. Of course, I know who she is. I know she knows who I am, too. I'm usually on the Republican side of the aisle. She was attacked as well. She released some of the tapes, people going after her earlier this week that were very, very nasty. And I was looking for her on the House floor and I couldn't find her. And so I asked my good friend Debbie Dingell, where does she usually sit? Because I don't, she wasn't in her normal place. And so Debbie found her and she brought her over to me. I said, I don't know you all that well. We've never talked. We both had a mask on. And I said, you can't see my smile, but I'm smiling behind this mask. But I just wonder if the same person that went after you publicly, and again, she released the transcript, they used the same words against me. And I had a monogram on my shirt and, my initials, you know what they are. I said, They use more than just my initials in going after us, but I wonder if it's the same person from South Carolina that went after you. So she started laughing when we had a good conversation, and you got to sort of put it in that light. But on the seriousness of stuff, I'm really afraid someone's going to get hurt. We had this terrible school shooting this week in Michigan, but we've had some shootings in my district, and talking to some of the victims and the survivors and my law enforcement folks. And I was once on the education committee, and I can remember the hearing that we had with the Columbine survivors. That was really the first big school shooting that I can remember, but I was on the committee then. There wasn't a dry eye in the place. And we know that kids, and I'm a dad, kids can't learn if they don't feel like they're in a safe environment. And is one that until COVID visited literally a school every week that I've been in office, all levels. I can, there's been a big change in security from when I was a student at Brown School to what they are today. And I've been, I've seen the live shooter drills. The day before Parkland, I was at one of my high schools in Kalamazoo, and they had a live shooter drill while I was there speaking to 300 kids. So, and I was back there the next week meeting with the student council and others and law enforcement, and Debbie Dingell actually came to my district. It was bipartisan. I went to hers as well, just talking about what we could do as, leaders in the community to try and stop this stuff. And, if you've watched any of the video interviews, including this morning, I was watching CNN this morning, and Mike Bouchard, the sheriff in Oakland County, was on. I know Mike Bouchard, even though it's the other side of the state from me, he was a statewide candidate. I think he was president of the Michigan Sheriff's Association for a while. Solid guy, well respected. Thank God his troops were trained and they were there and prevented what could have been far worse. But I'll tell you, it's a lot different today than it was 20, 30, 40 years ago as kids go to school. And no parent wants to not have their son or daughter come home safely.